What if tomorrow you woke up and just like that, you had the body you've always dreamed of? Your health was on point, energy levels were high, and your confidence, through the roof. Completely Possible Fitness wants you to know that it's possible to change your life and make your dreams come true. We specialize in weight loss, muscle building, functional training, group exercise, and nutritional advice. Don't let another day go by not having exactly what you want. Contact Copo Fit and let us help transform your life. Copo Fit is on all social media, or you can email us at copofit@gmail.com. That's COPOFIT@gmail.com. Do you love drama as much as I do? Plot shifts and heart-pounding turns will keep you enthralled in the new book, Soiled Sheets by Phoenix Ash. Dana and Marshall are drawn to each other, but their flame has a tendency to burn and splinter all that once mattered, quite possibly even each other. Will they make it through the debris or become part of the ruins? Find out when you purchase your copy of Soiled Sheets by Phoenix Ash, now available via Amazon Books and all Kindle devices, and it's free with Kindle Unlimited.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at?
Well, actually, I live in Delaware now, so does that make me a Delawarean?
Sing it, girl.
You know, Beyonce is my friend in my head. Jay my people sometimes, too.
Yeah. I mean, like, be true, man.
You know, when I was a kid, I had an imaginary enemy. Like, does that make me crazy?
Life as P, presented by Say What Radio.
Hi guys, this is Life as P. I'm your host, Phoenix Ash. I thank you for joining me. If this is your first time, I appreciate you giving me a time. I appreciate whoever recommended me or whatever social media platform you found me on. If you are a repeat listener, you know I love you, love you, love you. Thank you for joining me. So let's get into it. I've been thinking about a lot of things this past week, and again, I go back over the diagnosis someone very close to me has recently received. And of course, it makes everything be put into perspective, as well as the good things that I'm seeing happening around me, where people are getting promoted, getting offered better jobs. People are stepping out of their comfort zone and doing bigger and better things for themselves, whether it be selling more books or gaining additional platforms to speak their mind or share their content. Everything seems to be going in accordance with what they've dreamed for their lives. And even the person with a diagnosis, she's in and out, but I feel like she's able to have more strong moments because she's always done what it was that she wanted to do in terms of her career. And recently she's gotten a great opportunity to have her dream job. So I feel like these are the things that are fueling her for her wonderful, strong moments. And of course, dealing with something that is so shocking and so nerve-wracking that you're going to have your meltdown moments, but you get back up. And I think because she has fulfilled her life with so much joy that she's able to get back up. And I'm thinking about the things that we ask the universe for, or we ask God for, or Buddha, or whoever, your crystals, your ancestors, whomever you go to, if you're reading the stars, the numbers, your horoscope. And I'm thinking about all the times that I've put something out in the air slightly. And what I mean slightly is there was a time where, I want to make writing my living. So it's very general. And what I got was a job in communications that I didn't like. So it was general, though. It fulfilled that want that I put into the universe. And the reason why I was so general, and even now, I feel like sometimes I fight to be a little more specific in terms of what it is that I want, is because I pull myself back in thinking certain things aren't realistic. even when I pray for someone's healing, or I'm sending someone good vibes, or I'm hoping that someone can go to the next step in their life, I'm very general sometimes, where it's like, oh, you know, I hope whatever's for you is coming for you. some omnious, something real general. Don't really say anything. Just let you know that I'm wishing well on your life and I hope good things are coming for you. But there's a part of me that just doesn't want to be wrong. And sometimes we get so caught up in trying to predict futures and whether we're right. We try to predict it and we got it on the mark, or if we got it wrong and, oh man, I really thought that this thing was going to happen. And sometimes you're not wrong. The outcome is just delayed. It didn't happen right away. It didn't happen within 2 months, but 2 years down the road, you look back and say, no, that thing that I wished for, prayed for, or spoke into existence did happen. So I'm wondering, do we have to be so realistic when we talk about our dreams, when we talk about our ideal life and what it is that we want for ourselves? Do we have to be realistic? Because what you think is unrealistic may certainly be possible. And it may be unrealistic because of where you are right now, or because there are certain steps you need to take beforehand, or because there's a certain amount of work that you need to do before you are ready for that next thing. But why do you need to be realistic? Why not say what would be ideal? What would be the most grandiose, wonderful life you can imagine? Why not put that in the air? And let's say you missed the mark, but you caught a couple of trickles from that dream. Wouldn't that be great still? So what's the problem? What are we holding back? I know for myself, I asked myself this a lot, especially in the past couple of weeks, because I saw a post and I actually reposted it, I think on Instagram as well as Facebook. And you can see my Instagram at P Writes, or I might have put it on the book page, Passionate Books. But it's basically stop being so vague about what you want. And I want to say that I got that post from the Mess in a Bottle page. You know, I love that brand. But I do follow the page, and I think that's where I reposted it from. And it really got me to thinking, am I being vague about what I want? And so is what being returned to me from the universe, is my blessings vague too, where it's kind of blessing me, it's kind of giving me what I want, but not really. And if that's the case, then does that mean I'm sentencing myself to kind of living my dream, but never really touching on it? And I really don't know the answer to that, but I'm certainly willing to try to put the grandiose thing out there, to put the wonderful thing out there, the most glorious life I could imagine, to put it out there into the universe, talk to my blessings, talk to my God, and do the work. And if I do all those things, maybe, just maybe, I might hit the mark. And if I don't, I may hit somewhere around the mark, which is better than what I'm hitting right now, because it's real general right now. And I see things happening for myself. I see things coming into existence, and the more brave I am and the more I'm sharing what I want and what I'm thinking about with people around me, with people who are like-minded, people who are actually interested in my dreams and really looking to say, well, what do you want and how can I help you? And mostly because those are the same people that I'm asking them, what do you want and how can I help you? Because while I'm trying to figure it out, I'm sure I could be of use to someone. Now, I'm not going to be of use to the people who are in my DMs asking for me to hold them down in prison. That's not going to happen. Unless you're a relative that I care an awful lot about. So I'm going to tell you that's not going to happen. But, you know, for the most part, I'm trying to figure out how I can be of better use to the people that I care about, and how could I help boost their lives? How could I invest in what it is that they dream of? Even if it's just $1, $5. If you do hair, can I come to you and get my hair done? If you braid, I have someone that I go to pretty much all the time to get my hair done, but I have other friends who do hair. So every once in a while, I'm like, okay, I want to put a seed over here, but I want to protect the seed I already got. So I do go talk to my hairdresser like, I'm about to go let my girlfriend do my hair. Okay. I just need to clear it with you, okay? And, she cool about it. She's like, okay, but, I have to talk to her up front because I'm not trying to offend her. She my boo, and she's very reliable. But anyhow, I go to my girlfriend, like my girlfriend's going to braid my hair. Or I have other friends who do hair, and I'm like, you know what? Can you do Sadia's hair? I can pay you to do Sadia's hair, something so that I can pour into the life of someone else. Whether it be, do you want to spend time with Sadia? Her godmom is very, very busy and doesn't often get time to spend with her. And so I try to remember that she is someone I should ask first when I need a babysitter, because it's an opportunity for them to spend time together. And she loves her so. But, in a busy schedule, first of all, it's not the first thing on your mind, particularly when you don't have kids. But second of all, you assume that that's not something that's needed right then and there. And so you're not thinking about it. So I'm helping to facilitate that. But when we talk about grandiose things, I say, I want to be a screenwriter. And yes, that is a step in my life I would like to experience. But in all honesty, what I really would love to do is create television content, sell the idea, and then go on to making some more television content and sell that next idea. That is the ideal life for me. Create content, sell the idea, and then move on. That would be ideal for me. And for a long time, I was so hesitant. I feel like not even for a long time, up until this week, I feel I was very hesitant to share that. I might have shared that with 3 or 4 people throughout the course of my life. Okay. I'm not a young bird. So throughout the course of my life, I think I've only gotten that specific with what I want with 3 or 4 people. And now I've shared it with you. Yay. So you're helping me grow. Thank you. But what are you holding to your chest? What do you think is unrealistic? Because whatever that thing is, that might be the thing that's stopping you from living this fulfilled life, this awesome existence that you feel like you can't ever touch, that it's not tangible. It's because you're making it not tangible. You don't know what is truly possible until you are brave enough to explore what you believe are impossibilities. So you have to lay down your guard at one point and say, okay. And I'm not even at the point where like sharing it with a room full of people. I can share it with you guys, but in all transparency, it's because this is a podcast. You're not looking at me. We're not face to face. You don't have to read my eyes, my body language. You don't have to see that I'm staring at the floor. You don't have to see my hands trembling and how many gulps I have to take to truly get that full breath that's going to say this thing out loud. You don't have to see that. So it flows just a little bit easier for me. So believe me, I'm not even trying to act like now that I've come to this great realization, I'm going to run around and announce it to everyone I see. It's probably going to take me some time to get there. And I'm sure everyone I see appreciates the fact that I'm not running around telling them my hopes and dreams because what? I have nothing to do with that. But I think it's a huge step to be able to say it out loud, even if it's just to yourself in the mirror. And even before then, if you just say it out loud in the shower, just say it out loud. And then get in the practice of saying it out loud. That deep thing. I won't say dark because if you're truly passionate about murdering people or decapitating them or poisoning people's foods, I want you to not do that. Seek therapy and stay away from people. That's what I want you to do. But that dream, that wonderful life that's buried in the pit of your stomach, that you are afraid to say out loud because you think people think it's dumb. People won't understand. People feel like you're way past that age. You missed that boat. You haven't done the schooling for it. All those things. Because those people who are judging you and judging your dream, the vision is not for them. The vision is for you. And if those people are going to judge you and not pour into this dream, then okay, then you have to go find your people. You have to go find your audience. Go find the people who are interested in the things you're interested in. There's an audience for everyone. I'm sure there's some place where you can find a group You can Google it. You can find it on Facebook, wherever, Twitter. I'm sure there's groups so specific to your age group and your wants and desires that you will find other people who are facing the things you're facing, dealing with the things you're dealing with, and pursuing the things you're pursuing. And yes, you make it unique by being involved, but it's great to have a support system of people who are going in your same general direction. I mean, I don't know a lot of people who are pursuing screenwriting, but the couple that I do, I'm so thankful for, because when I enter a contest, I have someone to talk about it with. When we talk about storylines, it took me a long time to find a group of people who were fiction authors that I could share my stories with and talk to them about books and talk to them about stories and other things that we may have read. It took me a while, but it took me to, first of all, I had to have this podcast because I had to have the bravery to speak out loud. And sometimes people would listen to the podcast and reach out to me on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram and say, I didn't know this about you. And I'm surprised that I've known you for all these years and I didn't know this thing about you. And I'm like, yeah, well, you only know because I haven't had to look you in the face when I said it. But I'm past that. I can stand in front of people and I can speak and I can share my experiences and so forth. And don't get me wrong, speaking in front of people publicly has never been my issue. My issue has been sharing what's in the pit of my belly. Sharing my truth. I can share with you the grief and the incidences and the things that tore me down and made me cry. And I could tell you how I stood and how I found a way to rise above the turmoil and how I found a better outlook on life. But I couldn't, because those were past things. So they were of the past, but I couldn't tell you about the things that I dreamed about for my future because I was so afraid that they wouldn't come to pass and that 10 years from now, you'd look back and as if I mattered that much to you, 10 years from now, you would look back and say, that girl never reached that thing. She was just dreaming. And it was just like, but you know what? When I think about the people who knew me 10 years ago, had I said I wanted to be an author, had I said I wanted to host a podcast, had I said I wanted to be a public speaker, they would look back now and say, that girl did that thing. She did that thing. I mean, is it something that I don't think I'm going to do? Is it something that I don't think I'm going to grow towards, that I'm not going to try for? Because in all honesty, most things that I try for, at one point I hit that mark. It may take me 2 months. It may take me 2 years. It may take me 15 years, but the mark gets hit. So I need not be afraid of sharing this thing because some people won't even remember that I told them that this is what I was interested in. Like, oh, did you say that? Because people are self-consumed and people know a lot of people. So if you're hearing everybody's dream and you're hearing what everybody, you don't remember this person dreams this person dreams that. I mean, it's great if you do because then you can remember who to connect and you might get something going and something popping for the people in your life. So that's awesome. I try to remember strictly for that purpose, which is why I hosted a vision board party because let me see your board, share some things with me and then share them out loud within our total group. So if I don't remember the thing that you need, somebody else in the group may remember the thing that you need and run into it and pass it along or call me up and say, there was somebody who needed X, Y, and Z and I have this resource. Can you help me connect them? And maybe I might remember, or maybe I'll pose a question to the entire group and we'll find out. So you get it off your chest, but you don't have to be so realistic. Sometimes we are trying, it's like writing, okay? There are a lot of writers who are offended when I say I don't get writer's block. A lot of them, like, what? It exists. And the way that I view writer's block, for me, it doesn't exist. And the reason why I say it used to be very real. And it used to strike a whole ton of fear within me because I felt like, I know I want to write. I feel like writing, but nothing's coming out. And the reason why it doesn't exist for me anymore is because I realized I don't have to be so realistic. When I put something on the paper, I don't have to only put good stuff on the paper. I can put crap on the paper, and sometimes I have 5, 6, 7 pages of crap before I get to something good and something useful. So I can always write words. Words are always going to come. I can string words together. They're always going to come, and eventually they will create some type of story. Eventually I'll be able to pull out some type of story. Sometimes the story isn't coming because I need to work on a different one. So I'll put it to the side and say, you know what? Do I have a deadline? Absolutely. But I can't do this right now, but I feel like writing. So let me do this other story, or let me make up a story. Let me do something random, or let me write a poem. And I start writing. And what happens is I open up my juices and I start to flow, and I could be in the middle of telling this other story, and what I need for the first story dawns on me, and I'm like, okay, now I'm ready to go back to that other story. Or the thing that I needed for that other story, I find in the midst of this one that I'm working on. And I go, oh, I needed to come to this other story so that I can find this piece of jewelry, this thing, because I have brain dumps. And when I say a brain dump, what I have is a document that I keep open, that when I cut from one document, so if I'm editing a book and there are lines that I totally love, but they just need to go because they're just filling up space and not really helping the story progress or anything, I dump it in that document so that I may be able to use it somewhere else, or in another edit, it may come back in. When you are having a block, sometimes it's good to read the document and go through and read all those wonderful, juicy lines. And sometimes you can just take one of those and make a whole story out of one of those. So you can create the inspiration to write, or just write. But we're being too realistic as writers, right? We want it to be good words and beautiful words and relevant words. And it's like, that would be the realistic way of thinking. But sometimes you got to go through some stuff that doesn't make sense in order to get to the juice of what it is you're looking for. And I view putting my dreams into the atmosphere the same way. That it's saying I don't have a dream, or saying that my dream is extremely general. Oh, I'd just be happy with that, is me being too realistic. That is me having a dream block. I need to break through the dream block. And even if it doesn't make sense, put it out there. These are the things that I'm thinking. These are the things I think I may want. I need to break through the block and put it out there. Just put it there. Sometimes I may catch a piece. I may catch the tip of a star and make my life 300% better because I'm living some aspect of it. But I don't want to go for the tip of the star. I want to go for the whole thing. I want to go for the sky full of stars. But I never know what I'm going to come off with. And so I urge you to think about what it is you're putting in the universe and what it is you're saying that you want for your life and what dreams you want. And ask yourself if you're being a little too realistic. If you're basing your dream on, it's a dream. Because it's a dream, it's okay for it to be fantastic. It's okay for it to be wonderful. It's okay for it to be full of idealism. It's okay. It is a dream. And as you work and as you go forward, some of those things that you thought were impossible may actually be part of your reality. If you want to get at me, please reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. I'm P Writes on Twitter and Instagram, Phoenix Ash on Facebook. If you'd like to purchase any of my work, I have long neck bottles, In Her Makeup, soiled sheets, musings while binging. All of that is available on Amazon. Avenue Song, yes. All of that is available on Amazon. I believe In Her Makeup, soil sheets, and long neck bottles are also available on Kindle, as well as Long Neck Bottles is available on Audible. Long Neck Bottles is about my journey to becoming a full-time writer and to following my dreams and passion. In Her Makeup, as well as Soil Sheets, both of those are novels. Soil Sheets is the first in a series. I would love for you to give me some feedback before I release the second one. They all need reviews, so if you have them, you've read them, please leave a review on Amazon. I would appreciate that. I have some audiobooks coming out soon for you guys too, so I don't want to say when, because it has to go through this whole review process and all that, but it's coming soon down the line. I'm telling you, very, very, very soon, hopefully before summer. Anyhow, I thank you so much for allowing me to share what's on my mind, what's on my heart. I thank you for giving me your time, and hopefully I was able to feed your spirit, feed your soul, feed whatever endeavor that you're pursuing. Until next time, when we can exchange our power. Peace.